Today I want to talk to you about something super important: change of direction. Contact point. This is our main thing we're going to be talking about. So when I want to be able to change direction on the ball down the line cross court, okay, I want to be able to take a ball that's coming at me from this direction and push it this direction. This has absolutely everything to do with your positioning, okay? So paddle position, body position, weight transfer, all those types of things. The biggest mistake that players make when they're trying to change direction is the angle of their paddle, okay? So when you're prepping for a ball, okay, if I'm coming back here like this, see how that paddle is now flat? Okay, I don't have a lot of options in this situation. So for me to kind of do this, look at my elbows kind of pulled in, my head's down, I'm compressed. So essentially for me to do much with the ball, I've got to flick it, flop it, kind of do anything crazy. That pops the ball up, it puts it in the net, does all sorts of things. So consistently being able to change the direction is extremely important. Okay, so we talk about this in dinking and everything else, where we should strike the ball. Okay, so number one thing to think about is it's going to be a lot easier to change the direction on your forehand versus your backhand. Okay, so if I'm here taking this ball, what we're really talking about is if I want a ball to go this direction, I'm going to open the paddle this direction. If I want to go over here, I want to open the paddle in this direction. What's important about this is I need to get my shoulder engaged. Okay. Now, another important thing to your range of motion. Okay. If I'm using my wrist or my elbow or any of those types of things, my range is much shorter than it is if I use my full body, my shoulder. This actually has a lot to do with what our non-dominant hand is doing. I've seen some crazy things about how to engage your non-dominant hand, so let me just say this first. Doing something like this does not work, okay? It stops your range of motion. It's not helpful in any way. Now, learning to use your non-dominant side is not easy for everybody. This is where a lot of tennis players are more comfortable. You'll see us having our non-dominant side involved, especially with the two-handed backhand. You're getting your shoulders working together. The difficulty of that is if I'm starting in my basic ready position, okay? So this is where my left hand, for me, my non-dominant is here. Okay, what's important about this is when I pull my paddle down, my non-dominant's going to stay up here. Okay, now in an ideal world, when I strike the ball and guide it, see how my shoulder now moves. Now, but this actually, I almost imagine I'm elbowing somebody behind. So this is my range of motion, okay? I'm 5'5", so I need to use my range of motion a lot more, okay? Now, what's difficult about this is it's hard. Your hands are physically moving in opposite directions. That takes a lot of training, a lot of skill, okay? So as a starting block, okay, one of the simpler things to do is keep your non-dominant hand just close to your heart, okay? If it's a little bit closer to your heart, what it's going to do is it's actually going to stabilize your upper body. Okay, so how you are holding your paddle is actually important. Okay, so if you're grabbing your paddle, something like this, that's not very helpful because it doesn't really engage your non-dominant hand. So what happens a lot is the hand drops and the paddle goes up. Okay, so now guess where my paddle is going to finish? Somewhere down here. Okay, so what I actually want to kind of practice doing is keeping it a little bit tighter, so it's at least not in the way, okay? The second this hand goes here, so obviously if you're left-handed, we're talking about your right hand, okay? But when that hand is here, okay, these hands, they want to finish together, okay? So keeping your hands on the same plane is just really important to creating this direction control, okay? Because if my hand is here and I hit a low ball, there's nothing helping it go forward, okay? Essentially, if I drop my paddle down, I'm almost thinking about bringing my wrists together so that now my shoulders are more compact and solid and stable, okay? Because if that ball's coming hard at me, I need support from my body. Once those shoulders open up and you can see my chest, I'm basically like a moving target, okay? So what I'm going to show you first, okay, is I'm just going to be right here in the middle of the court, okay, and all I'm going to do is forehands. I'm going to take the first ball, I'm going to go that direction and that direction. We're kind of simplifying. I don't have a lot of angle here because I'm in the middle, okay? So I'm going to go over here, and all I'm doing is, a little crazy, but that's all right, okay? We're going to go push, and I'm really just staying in my forehand, practicing pushing the ball to my target. Okay, notice that I'm really keeping my head up. That's extremely important to that paddle control. So if I drop this down, that's going to cause some problems. Okay, so it all starts with I got to make sure my feet are underneath me, so I have a support system to move the hinge of my shoulder from side to side. Okay, so now a big part, look how I'm over exaggerating this follow through. Okay, and I'm staying in this forehand position. Okay, so as I'm kind of pushing the ball side to side, my weight is moving with it. Okay. So this is a really kind of simple way that we're going to start. Okay, what we're really practicing and working on right now is I just need this hinge of my shoulder. I need to feel my ability to move. Okay, so the mistake that a lot of players make is they're moving to the ball and then trying to change the ball and put it in the opposite direction. So we have to make sure when we're changing direction on the ball, we have to focus on that. We have to make sure that we're not rushing it, that we're keeping it nice and stable. But this contact point, this is really what we're going to work on. We're going to move into the next exercise and go from there.